All right, hello and welcome back. Now that I have my image edited and ready to go, I'm actually ready to vectorize this. And there's two different ways about doing this. I'm just doing the image now. But if I wanted to, there's actually going to be an eye that goes along with this. So I could actually put the eye inside this image and then vectorize that and upload it. But the text is already going to be vectorized. So usually I just create my image and then I create the text whenever I'm designing the shirt inside Teespring or whatever else. So this is what I could do if I wanted to inside of Teespring. Add the eye here. Usually I wait and do it in Teespring itself versus doing it here, but you are more than welcome to do it here or inside Teespring. Now that we have our image set and ready to go, we're actually ready to vectorize it. So I'm going to hit Upload Image to Trace here, and I'm going to select my image. All right, and so here is my image. So it's going to upload it here real fast. And then it's going to go through and it's actually going to trace this. So what it's doing a little bit on the technical side here is to create a vector image from a raster image. And again, remember raster is pixel dependent, is you actually have to redraw the image. So what we're doing here is we're having a program redraw our graphic for us in vector format versus having to do it ourselves. And this makes it a lot easier for us to do. I mean, it would take hours for us to do this, if not days, especially if you're not a Photoshop pro. And so now here is our image here, and it's actually going to go through here and vectorize this. And so you can kind of see here what the final image is going to look like. And you have a couple of options over here on the side. You can actually see what it looks like in split format, so you can see the old and you can see the new. And again, it's not perfect. This sucker doesn't look perfect, but you can actually change how it looks and the detail. So like I did not spend a lot of time, perfecting this and making it absolutely clean. So you can actually lower the detail and hide a lot of those blemishes. If I were actually putting this onto a t-shirt, what I would do is I would actually go back through and clean that up. A lot of times, it'll hide some stuff, but it won't hide other stuff. Like these non-straight lines down here, it hides those very well, but it may not hide this kind of yellowish background. Another great thing while this sucker is tracing, another great thing you can do, instead of having to go through and manually draw that, which is what you have to do to remove the background, is you can actually go on Fiverr here, and for $5, a lot of guys will do 5 graphics for $5. So it'll cost you $1 to do this. Remove any background from an image for $5. Remove image, graphic background, yada, yada, yada. There's a whole bunch of them in here, and they go through here and they draw it. And they're, a lot cleaner. They spend a little bit more time on it than I did. But if you don't want to sit there and do that, Fiverr is a great option to be able to do that. And you'll notice here, now that I lowered the quality and kind of made this look super, super vectored, you can't tell any blemishes. I mean, it looks drawn, so you can't really tell any blemishes. Now, what you can also do here is, you have download your result. You can have this redrawn by a pro. I've never done that. I've always had this look awesome for me. You can also do scan or drawing, process this as artwork. So if somebody is painting or drawing, it'll actually spend a little bit more time and process it a little bit better versus just a straight image. So if you have them process it as artwork, it'll spend more time redrawing and getting a little bit more of the detail out of that. All right, so you can see that once you process this as artwork, even at the low detail, it's going to put more time and effort into the actual drawing. Now, you'll also remember whenever we looked at the introduction, you'll remember our colors. So whenever we have unlimited colors here, you have all sorts of different schemes. You can see the different levels of color detail. And actually, if I pop this up to high, you would actually be able to see it a little bit better. It would look almost identical to this. The quality isn't quite going to be there as much, but it's going to be very, very good. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to do custom colors, and it gives you a palette here of different colors that it will use. So you can have 2 colors, black and white, which is the absolute minimum. And then of course, if you want to make it a single color, then you can remove the white or the black or whatever it may be. So if we do that, it just gives us a simple outline of the image. It essentially creates a black silhouette of a phone. So we'll see what that looks like. All right, so this is what a single image is going to look like. So usually I do somewhere between 3 to 5. So let's do 4 and see what 4 looks like. You'll notice here that you have a custom palette and it gives you all sorts of different color options. 12 is the maximum, and 2 is the minimum, so anywhere in the middle. Again, each one of these that you step up is going to cost more as far as your creating your t-shirt goes. And actually, if you want, you can actually go through here and customize your color. So you can actually change the color itself. So let's say you wanted to change this to green, you could change this to green. But most of the time you don't really want to do that. You just want to find a good balance of, what is the lowest number of colors that you can use that makes your image still legible. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll actually use the silhouette one, the 2-color option, because it makes the image look really cool. It just creates a simple silhouette and flattens it. So it makes it look really cool. And usually what I'll do is I'll look for ones that don't have like this light on there. You'll remember that on the 2-color that kind of whited it out. So what I would actually do is if I was preparing for that, I would actually go through here and it doesn't have to be exact because it's going to remove all the details. So I would just take a black marker inside my editor and just take and swipe that out.